I'm coming to you live from Health Impact Southeast here in very nice looking Coral Gables, Florida. And I'm joined by Gabe here, who came and participated during the day where we invite a number of health system CIOs, senior executives, and others to join us in conversations. So Gabe, just a quick introduction.
Absolutely. Gabe Orthos. I work for WellCentive, which is a population health management value-based care solution. And I'm the director of analytics for them.
Oh, great. So Gabe and I are wearing the hats that WellCentive was giving out here. Very cool. Everybody loved it. Gives us a little bit of Miami feel going back to our hometowns. So our format here at Health Impact is quite different than most other events that you go to. It's one of those where you have no PowerPoints, no BS, just a lot of conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think about that format?
I loved it. This is the first time that I've ever been part of this format, and just having the different types of people and personalities and backgrounds, I think that rounds out the story and the message around. So for example, today you had somebody from a hospice level, a hospital level, and then somebody from IT level, or in this case it was an HIE. Mm-hmm. You know, so many different perspectives, and I think that that's what we're missing in today's healthcare conversations, is that we hear the hospitals and we hear the payers, mm-hmm. right? Because they're a loud voice in this community, but you don't hear really the external ancillary services that go
right.
into that community healthcare, those kinds of things.
Yeah. So you couldn't be more right. I mean, and because you guys are in population health, you know how important all the other stuff around it is. Right. So that's really good. So during the day, there were a lot of topics we talked about: value-driven IT, data, cybersecurity, etc. What were some of the key takeaways that you think you came in and said, "Ooh, that's something I need to take back with me"?
Right. So one of the things around telemedicine has been kind of at the outskirts of population health management, just because it hasn't been fully vetted or quantified by the government from what happened in Texas, for example. Right. So that's kind of been in the outskirts. But I heard today some really great stories as to how to conceptualize that model. Start from the very grassroots level of telemedicine, especially around rural areas. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was like, oh, I never thought of that, right? So living in a big city like Atlanta or Miami or one of these, we think that access is everywhere, easy, yeah. Right? You could go to Walgreens and get flu shots, type of thing. But rural areas are having issues really retaining their current PCPs or providers. Not only it's very hard for them to get somebody to come to those rural areas. So telemedicine and those types of things, I think, are very important. So that's one of the things that I got out of it.
Okay, great. So what do you think, so HIMSS is coming up, WellCentive is going to be well represented there at the event. What are you hoping to see, or what are you hoping to say in front of so many people there about what you guys are offering and how much you differentiate a WellCentive versus so many people who are now new to this? I was just saying to both you and your colleagues that WellCentive was doing population health before it was, quote, cool, or people knew what it was. So you've been doing this for a long time. So that means you have years of experience that most other vendors do not have,
exactly.
Which is great. How are you going to get that message out?
So it's funny because HIMSS gets separated into the big whales, the big fish, and then the little fish that are trying to get into the industry. For us, it's kind of like the Oscars of population health management, just because you get to see a lot of different vendors and a lot of different organizations there. But to us, we will always stay true to the mantra that we believe that population health management is clinical outcomes and financial outcomes. And there's a synergy right now happening with that, and the government is the CMS is starting to understand that there's that Venn diagram, that these two things are coming together. So if we can tell our message to the viewers, to the people that are going to come out to HIMSS, that's great. We also love spending time with other colleagues around the industry, because it's a very small world, to tell the truth. Yeah. Even though HIMSS is so big, it's a very small world. You run into people that you worked before and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when you go to HIMSS, there's 45,000 people there, and but it's still a small world. That's great. So it sounds like you had a good time today. Absolutely. At Health Impact. So we'll see you at a future event.
Absolutely.
Great. Right. And hi, this is Shahid, again coming from Health Impact Southeast in Miami, and we'll see you at a future event.